All right, if everyone could stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Morgan Township Trustee meeting, September 8th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Call the meeting to order. Can I get a roll call?
Yes. Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
I'd like to approve the minutes on our last meeting of August 25th, 2025. Second?
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Motion approved.
There's another one.
Was the same one?
Well, one was for the joint meeting with the zoning,
Oh, yeah. That
And
was
then-
the
6
6
o'clock.
o'clock meeting, and
Right.
then with our regular 7 o'clock meeting was also August 25th, 2025.
Okay, I will second.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the payment listing for this pay period?
I'll make the motion to approve the payment listing from 8/26/2025 through 9/8/2025, payment number 744-2025 through 788-2025, warrant number 13298 through 13314 for a total of $82,040.01.
I'll second it.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right, we have a couple guest speakers today. First on the agenda is Kim Lawson from LCMB Bank. You want to come up? The microphone's on.
Good morning. I'm Kim Lawson with LCB National Bank. We are here for your application for deposit of public funds. The old one has expired, so we have the new contract. There has been no changes to the structure or the fees. So I have the packet here.
Okay.
If anybody would want this, and it does require signatures
Okay.
for us to move forward.
If you can just leave that here, we'll get that
Okay,
signed.
certainly. Do you want this?
Yeah,
signed?
just, you can pass. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, anything else you had to add, or?
They did put recommendations in the very front page, more of treasury management services on ways to increase interest, to maybe offset some other services we provide for business functions.
Okay,
I think we discussed some of those in the
We
past.
did, right.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
they did mention those again.
okay. All right, we will get that signed, and you're gonna stay until we can hand it to you?
Sure.
Okay, all right.
All right,
All
thank
right,
you guys.
thank you. All right, Christine? Well, I think everybody knows you.
Well, I don't know. I've been away from things for a while, for about 4 years now. But thank you. And I'm Christine Matisick. I'm a retired Liberty Township trustee and a past member of the Butler County Elderly Services Program Advisory Council. That's a lot to say. You'll hear me talk about elderly services tonight or this morning. This is morning time. Wow. Elderly Services Program is, we know it is ESP. But thank you for your support for our seniors over the years and permitting me to speak this morning. Butler County ESP is funded by the taxpayers. Every one of our taxpayers contribute to the Elderly Services Levy. You have copies of the annual report and some additional information that I've provided. But this is something that the Butler County Commissioners contract with the Council on Aging of Southwest Ohio, who manage the ESP. They partner with local contracted services providers who provide oversight, care, and supportive services that our clients need. Here in Morgan Township, you have 46 individuals that are being serviced by ESP. And that's out of 4,000 throughout Butler County. The reason ESP is so important is this is a program that we can be proud of here in Butler County, because not all counties have this type of a program. But this helps our seniors stay in their homes longer. When someone needs help with bathing or dressing or meals and that, or getting to and from doctor's appointments, this is where ESP can come in. It is based upon your need, as well as, from time to time, there are individuals that can't afford the services, so there's some of the individuals that are getting services also contribute to the financial benefit of the rest of the residents. So, but I'd like to share a little story about two individuals that are being helped today. Ann and Don, they were married at one point in time and had remained friends. They decided to move in together to save money on their rent and other expenses. Ann is 66. She had been a quality engineer in the aerospace industry. Unfortunately, she had to leave because she was diagnosed with COPD, and using an oxygen tank in the aerospace engineer area just did not work. So she had to leave the workforce several years ago. Don, who's 88, God love the guy, he worked until he was in his mid to late 70s painting. But he also just ended up getting COPD. So the two of them, they rely on each other's for additional help from one another, but ESP has helped them remain independent. They have a care provider that they hired, Tina, who helps them with their daily activities, including getting them to and from errands as well as doctor's offices. And they just love Tina. She has been a lifeline for them. And also what has happened is that when you also have a counsel, someone who's a care manager at ESP. Monica is their care manager. What happened is their rent, it was gonna go up and they could not afford it. Monica went out and helped them find another place that they could live that was more affordable. So they were really appreciative of Monica because she was able to get them into a place where they could continue to live at home, what they consider home. So ESP was created for people like Ann and Don. So this is where, they get the help that they need when they need it, and that. Unfortunately, over the last 20 years, our population in the elderly area has grown to by about 79% from what it was. And the clients at ESP services 50% more than they did 20 years ago. 20 years ago, when we had our last increase in the levy, and I know people don't like to hear that, and I'm just the messenger, so, and I leave it up to people to decide what's important and what's not. But, 20 years ago was the last time we had an increase. We've been servicing very smartly. We've been really watching the budget and trying to create additional partnerships so that we can continue to do things in the right way for the people. But again, with that many people increasing on the rolls, there comes a time when the funds just don't work. Despite the fiscal management over the last 20 years, demand is outpacing the resources. Unfortunately, for the past year, ESP has had to manage enrollment, turning away hundreds of seniors who qualify for help, which has broken our hearts, because it's like, this is something that if you can help them, they can help themselves to stay. And the reason that that's important is if they were put into a nursing home or nursing facility, usually when they run out of money, they go on Medicaid. Medicaid pays about $8,000 a month for an individual to be in a nursing home, nursing facility. What it costs ESP to do these services to keep them in their home is about $425 a month. Both services are being paid by taxpayers, and I don't know about you, I know you guys are very fiscally responsible, and that I look at this as, if I have to pay a little bit more so that somebody can stay in their home, that means that my other taxes aren't going up as high. So to me, it's a little offset there. Quite a big offset, 8,000 versus 425 a month. But the current tax levy that funds ESP expires at the end of this year, this calendar year. In November, and those who vote early will be asking you to approve a senior service levy that includes a renewal of the existing 1.3 mil and a 0.7 mil increase. The proposed levy will cost homeowners approximately $50 per 100,000 in property value annually. And that's about, for most people, that's about less than 2% of their tax bill. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I know we just received the levy number, and it is issue number 1. So it'll be the first issue on your ballot. I know I've shared a lot of information with you, and that, just want to thank you and ask if you have any questions.
Christine, the only thing I have a question is this Meals on Wheels, or is Meals on Wheels different than this?
Meals on Wheels is associated with ESP
Okay,
in Butler County. Excuse me. Council on Aging, it's kind of under their umbrella, but because we are managed by, ESP is managed by Council on Aging, it kind of falls under the same umbrella.
okay,
And yeah, because I know when I was on the council, when we had COVID, that was a very trying time. But what happened is ESP, we partnered with various restaurants, and we were able to provide a variety of food for our seniors and that. So,
okay, all right, thank you.
excuse me. Any other questions? Anybody from the audience? Do you mind if I ask the audience if they have any questions? Okay. The one thing I did forget to mention, if you want to see how it impacts your taxes, you can go to the Nancy Nix's Butler County Auditor's Office. When you go and you put your property, you go under property search, you find your property, up in the right, on the left-hand top, there's a column of different things you can look at. The very top one in bold says levy calculations. That will tell you what the levies will increase, you know, if approved.
Okay,
Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you
Well,
for coming out.
Thanks,
Thank you very
Christine.
much for having me here.
Kim Lawson. Somebody's phone's ringing. Did the gentleman that's with you have anything to okay, I slipped by and I saw another face and I thought, oh, they're all with LCMB. Okay, great. Okay, thank you. All right, next is Chris Brucker, Oxford Computer Solutions.
Good morning, everybody. Chris Brucker, Oxford Computer Solutions. I provide the IT services for the township. I was here a couple months ago, actually, to talk about upgrading the township computers. So there's a number of them. There's 2 at the fire station. There's like 5 here at the admin building that don't meet the minimum requirements for Windows 10. That deadline where Windows 10 is no longer being supported is October 14th. So we're getting a little bit closer on time, and I wanted to see if I could get the board's approval to move forward with replacing some of those. I talked with Assistant Chief Griffith about getting refurbished computers, so it's less of a burden. I know it's a lot of an expense all at once, but we weren't necessarily budgeting for. So we can get refurbished computers. They're anywhere 3 to 5 years old already, but they're better computers, so they have a little bit longer lifespan. They're not kind of at the end of their usable life, whereas the ones that we currently have are. So most of the ones that we're replacing are anywhere between 8 and 10 years old.
okay,
So basically, rough estimate, it would be about $1,000 to buy a brand new computer and about $500 to buy a refurbished. So it's roughly half the cost to replace those.
I happened to be shopping for a computer recently, and I couldn't find any computers for $1,000. that seems like a pretty fair price. What are we getting for $1,000 as far as speed? And Chief, you probably the one that's kind of be an expert from the inside here.
Well,
What's your thoughts?
I gotta phrase this correctly. So the move to work from home, which I know has changed and all that, but there's a lot of barely used refurbished computers out there because people are getting rid of them at a rate because they have no use for them. As they liquidate office space, it's just that they're available. And Chris will tell you, I had to give him authorization for our refurbished ones, so when they hit the market, he immediately bought them, because he'll tell you everybody's buying the refurbs to get the Windows 11 compliance at a decent, because money's tight. $1,000 is a deal because these are towers, so you were probably looking for a laptop.
Right.
So these are towers, so towers have a lot less bells and whistles than laptops have, so the cost is less. But these refurbished units are perfectly fine, and the savings is incredible if he can find them. The one he's gonna install over there, they'll never notice the difference, because most of the work here is done on applications that are held somewhere in a server, an Amazon server somewhere. So you don't need a lot, but you need a lot to make Windows 11 work. And there's no expansion slots, so to me, it made sense to just get refurbished. And Chris towers are by nature very resilient, and they take a tick. They're not asked to do a lot like laptops. We drop them, we move them, and all that. So
the Windows 11 is the key
Yes.
to requiring us to go to
Yes.
new systems.
yeah, Windows
Okay.
11 needs more RAM,
Yeah.
and some don't have the expansion slots to make that happen.
Gotcha.
Well, it's also a security conversation, right? I mean, we've taken steps, we run different security suites on these computers, and we don't want to be in a situation where Windows 10 is no longer getting updates. The computer would probably function just fine, but it's connected to the internet. So because it's connected to the internet, someone could be more susceptible to hack in
Okay.
because it's no longer getting those updates.
So
And two entities have been hacked lately, and I'm not gonna name their names, it's in the news, but they're having one of them is so significant, they have the FBI there. We don't wanna be that, so staying on Windows 10 is not a viable, and we wouldn't be doing due diligence to do that.
So we're talking, it looks like you said we have 2 systems in the fire department and 5 over in the admin, so
Yep.
we're looking, what's the cost on, you're talking 7 times 500, $3,500 to move into that?
Roughly. So there's one kind of wild card, and that's the fiscal officer computer that we're going to replace. We have an older UAN computer.
Yeah.
It technically meets the requirements for Windows 11, but they've tried to upgrade, and they said that they had issues, so that we may have something wrong with the physical hardware. So worst case, we're probably looking at $3,500. We may be able to reuse that computer.
Okay.
Not have to buy one brand new. I'm gonna look at that today while I'm out here.
So the 2 for the fire department, 5 including fiscal officer, or 5 plus?
5 would include the fiscal
Okay.
officer.
All
So
right.
we've got the zoning enforcement.
Yeah.
We've got Amy's computer, the fire department, like we use it for the lock system. And then but it's used over here as well. We've got the trustee computer, and then we've got the road department. And that was another question that I had for the group is, today that's a laptop. I don't know if Mark needs a laptop going forward, unless you take it somewhere. If it's just sitting on a desk back there, we might be able to save a little bit more and go with a desktop option.
It's your call.
Answer emails and
Okay,
work
And
with
then-
daily logs and all.
okay, that's fine. Darren's, is that included?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Do we need a motion to proceed on this?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion for the acquisition of 7 refurbished computers, 2 for the firehouse and 5 for the admin building. And do we have a timeline when we'd be able to get these in?
Well, I've got 3 of them already. They're kind of earmarked for you guys, and then we'll
Okay.
just go procure the other 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I told him to start finding them because they are hard to find, and once he got them, I figured this would be the most cost-efficient way to do it, so. But it's your final approval.
Okay.
Well, I'm hoping by the end of September, we'll have them all changed over.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
I abstain.
Thanks, Chris.
Motion approved.
Appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Okay. All right. Moving ahead with the fire department.
Okay. Number one on my agenda is I would like them, and I discussed this with Chief and with our training captain, the sim man that we used as a simulation device for EMS training, it was bought with excess funds from COVID money by the previous chief. We don't use that. It has value on the open market, and I would like a motion to declare the ALS simulator SimMan as excess and see. I have a number in mind. I won't sell it for less, but place it on Gov Deals and try to get us some money back to use for other more purposeful needs of the department.
Is that pretty up to date?
Yeah, it's the
System
most
today?
modern one, because yes, it is. It's actually up to date, but we're just not using it as it should be, and I hate to see it sit there and just be not used. And we could use it, but we're using other methods for training, and it's just not necessary in my and Chief's mind. So we'd like to see what we can get out of it, and if I can't get what I think, I'll keep it, but I would like to liquidate it.
How do we use that? What do we train with that?
You can do certain procedures, just that it's the item that, you program and run it and it talks to you and it lowers the blood pressure and does this and that. But the real issue is that it's expensive to maintain, and in Chief's mind, it's just not being utilized, and I don't think in the future we are. It's more for hospital based and for training of EMTs, paramedics, and nurses than it is at an individual department. Not many departments have it, and it's just, it takes a lot of maintenance to keep it running. And I don't think that, as my old boss used to say, the juice is worth the squeeze.
Okay, so we don't use it for certification or
No.
or currency on any
No.
certs?
Mm-mm.
Okay. And I think you had mentioned this one time before. I think you had said something about if another fire department could use it.
Yeah.
That'd be a possible option if we don't sell it.
Yeah,
what we
we'll
want.
see what we can do. I think there's some, to an educational facility, this will be gold, because they're training people, and there's certain procedures they have to do to become certified as a paramedic, EMT, or whatever. It's just not in our wheelhouse to use that, and I think the money could be spent better elsewhere, serving the residents than having that sit there unmaintained.
Okay. All right, I'll go ahead and make the motion to dispose of the SimMan ALS simulator on Gov Deals for the maximum.
Yeah, I have a number in
Resale
mind,
value.
and I'm not gonna say it, because whoever might buy it might hear it, but anyway, I'm not gonna give it away.
I know where you're
Yeah,
coming from, Chief.
I do this a lot. I'm not gonna
Yeah, you
give it
do.
away, and we'll keep it till, if it takes me a year, I don't care, but I'll find the right buyer.
All right, motion's on the floor.
I'll second that.
Okay, Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Just a reminder, we have an open house, September 20th, 11 to 2. Thank you to UC Air Care. No one, due to budget cutbacks, no one's flying helicopters for open houses anymore. Jen Miller helped us out and finally convinced them to come out, because we're a good customer, but you can't get helicopters anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's cut. I mean, if you saw UC laid off 50, they got rid of their mobile stroke unit. It's getting tough in the pre-hospital care world, but we have one. So I remember we had 5, but we can get one. So hopefully they come, but we will have one helicopter landing there. We can stress the new LZ, but that's 11 to 2 on the 20th. The sponsor report for August. We're up to 363 responses. That's a 36 response increase from last year. We had 8 CPR in our last CPR class that got certified, so we're doing those once a quarter. 8 folks showed up and now have that skill they didn't have before. We distributed 3 more smoke detectors. We had 98 hours of training EMS and fire for the month of August. That puts us up to 671 hours of training for the year. And all inspections are now completed. Thank you to Mark for helping Captain with that. But we are completely finished with inspections in Morgan Township as of today. So we're happy to have that done. And as far as the transports, we made 2 mutual aid transports for Ross Township, and that's all I have unless you have questions of me.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Okay, let me go to the park
You got
now.
anything? Yeah. I was gonna-
Okay, Darren can't be here, so I'm giving the park for him. The equipment is installed and complete. Greg, our guy we hired to make sure it's compliant, came out and did one of his final inspections on that anyway. He found some deficiencies. They came out last Friday and Monday and fixed all the deficiencies. So as far as the equipment, it has been checked off and signed by the company. It's ready to go. It's been deemed compliant with all regulatory rules and regulations. So he found some and he fixed it. His final inspection will be when the turf is installed, which is going in, started on Friday. Their timeline is approximately, believe it or not, 2 weeks, which I find a long time, but that's what they say. And he'll come out and he actually does, I guess, a crash test dummies. He drops dummies off and measures and makes sure that turf is compliant with any rules and regulations, which there are a bunch. So anyway, the turf is going in, and the last thing after the turf, and the sidewalk is in, so that looks real good, and the rest of the curb has been completed. So that's all finished. The last thing after the turf will be the fence, and I need a resolution. I'm gonna read it. Takes to the fiscal office, gave me the right one. I'm requesting a motion to approve a PO to the fence company in the amount of $17,575 out of Fund 1000 from Park Dedicated Object Codes to install the fence on the playground at the Morgan Township Community Park.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Cole? Did you
No,
do
Ms.
it?
Huff.
Oh, Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Motion approved.
And he wanted me to tell you, he did receive 3 bids, and they were actually, that was the best bid. The fence company even beat Mills for the fence he wanted. And the fence is gonna be drilled into the curbing, not attached to it, which was a safety concern, and that's why there's a little
Sure.
more expense. Working on finalizing the Tanya Engel donor sign out there. He had all the new leaves added to the donor board, and he just texted me that LNCB has been added to the donor board, and we appreciate the donation to the park. And that's all I have, unless you have anything else.
All I was going to say, AC, is I think we were all hoping to have that park ready to go for the September 20th firehouse.
I
for the
think we'll
open
make
house.
it. The fence is not a requirement.
What's it?
We're going above and beyond by putting the fence. There's no regulatory requirement for the fence.
I was thinking about the turf.
Yeah, the turf should make it. And then-
Well, you said 2 weeks. They're going
Yeah,
to start on it this Friday?
Well,
No.
they started on last Friday.
They
so
started on it already.
Last
Oh,
Friday. They're already
okay.
out there. So
Great,
that's
great.
this week and next week, so we should make it, and I don't think there's any rain.
Perfect.
One thing we did do is we'll have to get it back filled and seed and strawed by then, but, and then Mark also moved the daylight drain because we were concerned about water runoff on the trail and ice, so he's gonna move it today, that it doesn't put it directly on the trail. So
Okay.
that's a good thing.
Okay.
But we should make it good if they get going. And they've been out there, they started Friday, so I think they'll make it by a few days.
I looked at the weather for 2 weeks. It's bright sun and 80 degrees.
So they said a week to 2, so.
Okay.
And then we just backfill it and seed it, and I think hopefully we'll make it.
Okay, thanks, Jeff.
All right. Moving on to road department, Mark.
Yes, I just have a few things. We finished crack sealing last week, and we did end up sealing Shaneling Road, George, and Lehigh roads this year, so we were pretty happy about that. This week we're going to start Dura patching. We're doing some boom mowing and going to pour some concrete floors and a couple culvert pipes, one on Howard's Creek and one on George Road. The township and fire equipment is scheduled for crown oil treatment on September 23rd, and then the 2025 Southwest Ohio Public Works Expo is October 9th at the Sharonville Convention Center. And they have some technical training sessions and a trade show. And we're planning on attending that through the APWA, which we're members of. And I don't need any POs. Should be good.
That's a good thing.
Thank you.
Hey,
Good.
hey, has anybody ever got back with you on that Lehigh Road culvert there.
Then
It's
they were
getting
gonna
worse.
look at it. I can,
Okay.
I'll ask them
Yeah,
again and
it's
see what the
getting
plan
worse.
is.
All right, but,
Sure will. Thank you.
All right, moving ahead, Dale, zoning?
no, I don't have none.
Dale's zoning.
Okay.
No, Dale not zoning. He doesn't feel like it today anyway. Well, I had my, there it is. Certificates, if you look, there was only one new certificate since our last meeting, and it was for a 240 square foot shed barn. But on Friday, before I forgot to put it in, if you look, there is an addition being added to a barn on Weaver Road. I think that's on your certificate at the very end. I just received in the email a certificate for a swimming pool to go on Okeana-Drewsburg in the 6900 block. That was through an email, so that will not show up until the check has arrived for all of it. The zoning commission meeting is October 1st at 7 p.m. Topics to be published in social media and the zoning webpage on Morgan Township prior to that. The BZA will hold a general meeting on September the 18th, 2025. This is just a general meeting. We're going to be focused on training. Agenda and meeting will be announced on social media and the town webpage. I have nothing around the township at this point. Zoning violations types, I've sent a letter to Lehigh, I will be sending letters to Lehigh Estates concerning the mobile homes that are not occupied. I've also just sent out a second letter to a home down at 3638 Millville Shandon, which has a very large backyard of weeds and everything else to be cut. The letter was sent to an LLC in Columbus. I did not get a response from the first one. Since then, several factors have happened to that particular property that it may take even longer to see if the grass is cut. Darren will be, I'm not sure whether Darren's actually going, and he can tell you one way or the other. Whether he, on the 12th of this week, the bottom of Bell Road, the 2857 Bell Road, will go to judgment court, go for judgment in court. And everything else, we complied with the the attorney, prosecutor, getting him new pictures up to date and everything else, and that is still a go. He's also, I think he said in the zoning meeting that he managed to obtain the title to the truck that is on the Bell Road property at 2601. The owner there was not the owner of the truck on the property, and Darren worked with him on getting the title, salvage title, or so that they can get it removed. As far as anything else that I can remember in terms of what's going on, that for violations, that's about it.
Okay.
And I don't need an executive session, and that's about everything. Any questions for me?
On the BZA, the general meeting on the 18th, have you had any consideration on joining the BZA and the zoning? We talked about that, and if you're going to talk training, it might be a good meeting to have both boards there to discuss. I think we got to get the BZA and the zoning commission to work more closely together.
I agree. And everything else, I've covered training in the zoning so far about where they can go and how they can do it.
Okay.
Mr. Tomlinson and I will be setting that up even further so that they can actually go and watch the webinars or anything they want to see on the OTA. I will certainly consider it if the zoning commission wishes to attend that day. We can,
At least offer it just to see, so we can just, I think if they train together and work more closely together, we're gonna have a more well-rounded zoning
Mr.
department.
Tomlinson, how do you feel about that?
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Then
All
we'll
right.
do it as a dual.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Anything for Dale?
Thanks, Dale.
Thank you.
You had a packet in here for lot splits. Dale,
Yes?
you had a packet in
Oh,
here?
yes, the packet.
Did you want to talk about that?
Well, I have a controversy going on over a lot split that I did. And in researching this and everything else, I found that in Ohio, a township zoning commission itself does not directly approve lot splits. However, the zoning inspector, who operates under the township's zoning regulation, does play a key role. That key role is the fact that he looks at and determines whether or not the lot split meets the requirements of the zoning regulation, which in our case is 200 feet of road frontage. Excuse me, I'm very nervous over this, okay? The number and the minimum number of acres, which is 3 at this time, okay? I did a lot split for Mr. Tensing on Howard's Creek for the 24 acres. Mr. Tensing came in and presented through Abercrombie Associates a plat, a survey plat to be approved for three lots. All 3 lots face, well, it's out of the 24 acres that Mr. Tensing already has. The Abercrombie plat showed that there would be 3 lots, one 5 acres, one 15 acres, and one 4 acres. And this was to be a shared drive with a bridge that was to be built into by county specs through the engineers department to have a shared drive of 3. I saw nothing in the book or anything else that stopped me from approving that at this point in time. I approved it. It is since now record in the court, in the auditors and the tax map division of the engineers. The zoning commission at their last meeting said that I did not perform my job as I should have, that it should have come before them to be approved. And as you can see in the pieces of paper that I've given you around this whole thing, it's not their job to approve lot splits that are minor lot splits. And there are other pieces of information attached. There is a 519.16 enforcement of zoning regulations and a 711.131 lot split without plat that deals with through the engineers and what everything else that state very, very sort of not directly, but imply that the zoning inspector, whom I think I am as well, since I go by a title of administrator, I'm the only one here doing those kinds of things, so therefore I feel like I am the inspector. If there is any problem with mine, I discuss it with you guys, and I have in this particular case spoken to you, Tom, to Jeff as well, prior to this, prior to all the issues around the lot split issue. The zoning wants to go ahead, and I have no problem with going ahead and putting in what they are requesting, which is lot splits will be a conditional use. and there would be no more than two, or shared driveways would be a conditional use, and there would be no more than two parcels to the shared driveway. That's in working. But since it was only being worked on, I still had to make a choice around the fact that Mr. Tinsing submitted this. I felt it was a good split. And we have no laws around driveways, shared driveways at this time. We have precedent all around the township with that, with shared drives being it. In fact, Lee, there's one right down here on Cincinnati Brookville Road, just before Buell Road. There are others around there's one on North Dwyer that runs up a hill for almost quarter of a mile and sets 3 houses there. Has no name on it. It's a shared driveway. That's all I have to say. I feel that I did my job.
Well, Dale, I don't consider this one a simple lot split, like you said. I mean, this has been controversial. And let me give you just real quick a timeline of the Howard Creek Road lot split. September 6, 2023, preliminary plot for Howard's Creek lot split was presented to the zoning board. The zoning board denied the request and stated no private driveways were permitted. November 1st, 2023, the second presentation of Howard's Creek lot split was presented to the zoning board, and the zoning board approved to send that on to the Butler County Planning Commission for review. The county approved a bridge and road to county specs for 7 lots, but the owner said it was cost prohibitive and the project was dropped. On September 26, 2024, the trustees held a special meeting to discuss personnel. And in that meeting, discussion was to have lot split applications be reviewed by the zoning board prior to approval. That was because of you were going through some hard issues, okay? Also, and have the zoning board chairman or vice chairman back you up. That was your request, to back you up on zoning certificate application and approvals because of everything you were going through. October 2nd, 2024, the zoning board discussed the lot split recommendation made by the trustees and backup for zoning administrator for all certificate applications, and agreed to have the board chairman and vice chairman back the zoning administrator. On February 5th, 2025, Mr. Tenzing, the owner of the property on Howard's Creek, attended the zoning board meeting and requested a private drive for 3 to 4 lots. His request was denied. On March 5th, 2025, the zoning board proposed a definition for driveways to be added to the zoning resolution. June 4th, 2025, zoning board approved to send the shared driveway definitions to the Butler County Planning Commission for review. On July 19th, 2025, the zoning board approved the resolution on shared driveways with a limit of 2 properties to be accessed from the shared driveway to be presented to the Board of Trustees for approval. On July 28th, the zoning administrator mentioned in his report at the trustee meeting that the zoning board had approved a resolution to limit shared driveways to 2 lots, and he requested to table the resolution until the August 11th meeting. On August 5th, 2025, the zoning administrator approved the Howard Creek lot splits of 24.1 acres into 3 lots, a 4.1852 acre, a 5.2367 acre, and a 14.8422 acre without any discussion with the zoning board. On 8/6, the zoning meeting that was scheduled was canceled via text message with no explanation why. On August 11th, 2025, the zoning administrator presented the shared driveway resolution from the zoning board to the trustees with a limit of 2 properties to access from that driveway. After a lengthy discussion, the trustees approved motion 2025 to deny the approval request for the shared driveway resolution and send that resolution back to the zoning board for more discussion on the limitation of number of properties to be accessed by a shared driveway and based on road frontage. On October 12th, the zoning board chairman contacted Trustee Brucker and requested a meeting between the zoning board and the trustees because he stated that the trustees weren't presented the entire story of why the zoning board determined the 2-lot limit for shared driveways. The joint meeting was scheduled for August 25th, 2025 at 6 p.m. before the scheduled trustee meeting at 7 p.m. On August 25th, 2025, it was decided that the zoning board would change the proposed resolution for shared driveways to not permitted. If an applicant could prove a hardship, they could apply for a variance and have a BZA hearing. If the BZA board determined there is a hardship, a shared driveway would be permitted, but no more than 2 lots can be accessed from that shared driveway. Is that pretty accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it wasn't a simple lot split. It's been ongoing for a long time, and the perception is there that this wasn't presented to the board in a timely manner, so that lot split could take place as it is. Like you said, there's no law right now, but it was in the process, and you circumvented that process to allow this lot split. Why?
Because I felt that in this particular instance, that the property owner was not being allowed his rights. And that's all I'll say to that.
We never want to deny a property owner abusing their property, but they have to do it within the guidelines of our zoning resolution. Or why do we have zoning? If anybody can do whatever they want, then why? We've talked this many times. We don't spot and force. We have to be consistent.
I understand.
Okay. I got the chairman and the vice chair of the board, the zoning board. Does anyone want to say anything?
Can you give me a copy of that so it's easy
Yeah.
for us to put it in the minutes?
I'll just text it or email it to you.
Ken Tummelson, Chair of the Zoning Commission.
Kevin Brandon's Vice Chair.
We feel that this was slow dragged on purpose in order to approve this lot split, knowing that it was already in process, which was admitted to during our meeting on video. And we feel as a board that there should be consequences for those actions. That's a decision of you trustees. But this is the second time stuff like this has occurred since I've been a part of the board. And from what I've heard, this is the third time it's occurred with an administrator as long as we've had zoning. So I think we need to come up with a way to take the control out of the administrator's hands and turn it over to the board as a 5-member panel in order to take this out of the equation where one person determines what goes on in our township.
Yeah, we definitely want to take this and bring you guys in on it, and we want to have all decisions come before the board. All lot splits, all permits, everything. Because we feel it should be decided by the 5-member group, not just one person. Because things aren't going the way they're supposed to be, and what just happened is a perfect example of this is not right. Because every one of us on the commission, Dale knew exactly how we felt about this, and he deliberately slow-walked our proposal so he could get this done. And he admitted it on said, yes, I did slow walk. That's inexcusable. I mean, that's not right. So you guys need to figure out how you wanna deal with this, because we have lost faith in this.
And I have a question. It was said to us that, Tom, you approved this.
I did
Did
not
you
approve it. First off, I can't approve one trustee can't approve anything, but I did
Right.
not approve it. I had discussions with Dale when he talked to me about, this loophole of a shared driveway and explained it to me. I said that, what's the limitation? Is there any number? And we had a long discussion during the August 11th meeting, and you can read the minutes, it's in there, that he said the Butler County zoning bases it on road frontage. So I said, that's why we send it back to you guys for road frontage.
Correct.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that had already been done. He'd already signed the,
It was already done
It
at that
was already
point,
done
but we didn't
at
know
that
that.
point.
yeah,
But,
right.
so we, that's why we had the joint meeting
Right.
before the 25th trustee meeting, and we got the BZA involved. I think Griffith was here, and he spoke on behalf of the BZA.
Right.
And said that that's what we determined, that there will be no number. It would be not permitted, but if, like anything else in our zoning, if somebody has a hardship and they want to, appeal it and for a variance, they can go to the BZA. And this would be the same situation. It would go to the BZA, and if BZA were to approve based on a hardship, they could not approve more than 2 lots accessing off of one shared driveway.
Right.
That was the max. So that's how we left it.
Okay, so you did not approve okaying this lot split?
No, I did not.
Okay, just for clarification.
Okay.
So-
And I couldn't. Like I said, it
Right.
takes 2 board members to
Right.
approve anything.
So Dale, do you have it in writing that they are putting in a county bridge?
I do not.
But you just said that they were gonna put in a county bridge.
That's my discussion with Mr. Tensing through emails.
That they're putting in a county bridge. Okay. And how many,
So I guess
how
you
many
could
feet
say
of
I
road
did-
frontage does that property have, the 24 acres?
It has something like 800 feet.
Okay, so realistically, there was no hardship there because they had the road frontage to do 4 lots. Correct?
Correct.
So all they had to do was put in 4 bridges, and they had 4 lots. So a hardship, money is not a hardship. And that's very well stated in the BZA's, that money is not a hardship. So he came to you saying he can't afford to do the bridge. Can you help me with this? So you can just set precedent in doing this, because now anybody can use money as a hardship. Am I?
Well, it wasn't a variance. It
Well,
didn't
I
go
know,
before the
but they
BZA,
can
so.
use that as reference because he stated it
He
in
didn't
the
make-
meeting, and you just stated it a few minutes ago,
No,
saying that they only wanted to do 1 bridge, right or wrong?
they only wanted to do 1 bridge, but money was not discussed around the cost of that bridge or anything else that would cause a,
That's when they came to us in their meeting, that's exactly what they told us. They said, we can't afford to do this.
yeah, the bridge and the road put together, Kevin.
Okay, so they're still putting in some kind of a road or a bridge, so that was for the 7
Because there is a
lots.
requirement by the county that a bridge go in, and those county specs have to be made.
Where does it say that on a private drive, or on an individual drive?
That's with the Butler
There is
County engineers.
Where is that in writing? And because there are several bridges going across that creek that the fire department cannot go across because they are not county specs. And we don't have anything in our regulations that says they have to put in a county spec road. That, unless it's a subdivision, correct? So now that this is just a shared driveway that you let them have, there's no way we can regulate that. Because you took the was a subdivision. Now it's not a subdivision anymore. So we have no say in what they do with that bridge. And we have no way of enforcing what they do with that bridge. So I'm kind of why you thought that was a good idea. I mean, that's all, I mean, we were looking out for all the other residents that are on that road that came to our meetings and stated their concerns, and we said, we've got your back, we're gonna make sure this gets done right. And you went behind all of us, you circumvented everything, you delayed it, you slow walked it, the whole 9 yards. And then now they got what they wanted, and the other residents got nothing. So how is that fair to the community? Because there was nothing stopping them from developing their property they wanted. They could have made 4 lots, and under our current rules and regulations for zoning, because they got 800 feet of road frontage, so they could put 4 lots in. They only wanted 3. Okay, put 3 bridges in. There's no hardship there. You just gave in to them because you thought they were gonna sue us. And that's what you said. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I've said that.
Okay,
I don't deny that.
okay, so what,
But I'm under the understanding that the Butler County engineers take over the bridge. That they are the ones who set the requirements for the bridge.
Not on a private driveway.
no, private drive.
This isn't a private drive, it's a shared driveway.
What's the difference?
There
Because
isn't.
we outlawed private drives. We didn't get the, we were in the process of defining shared drives, which we defined, the 2, and then you went ahead and approved for 3. So basically, you approved private drive.
That's your conception of what a private drive is. It's not, this is a shared driveway. By discussion that we had when the engineer came, Eric Pottinger came and went before you, was the fact that they normally could go up to 4 lots on their shared driveways.
On the county, but he also told us that we could restrict our rules to whatever. We can make them stricter than the county.
I understand that, and you were working on it.
We can be stricter.
I
We're
understand.
already in process.
I understand, but you were working on it.
Yeah, and we
And
had
we
it
had it
done.
done in July,
And you were supposed to take it to the board
and you waited 6 weeks to take it to the trustees
so you could
so
get
you
them,
could get it approved.
get it approved. So you purposely went behind our back, slow walked this thing, you admitted it on tape. That's not right.
All right, well, let's go into executive session after we get finished with the meeting. Is that okay?
Yep.
All right. I got one other thing. Did you know that they were going to put the biggest portion of that lot up for sale when you approved this?
No, I did not.
Because I know our discussion was, this was the family dream. This was their father's property, and it was his dream. He passed on. It was his dream, and they wanted to fulfill it to make a family compound. And originally, they wanted 7 or 8 lots and have the whole family live there. And now they've taken the 24 acres, and they're selling. Currently, it's on the market. 14.61 acres is up for sale. So were they 100% on, being honest with you from the start, or did they just want to get this lot split so they could sell it off?
Well, it looks from this point of view of what you've said, that they wanted to,
Yeah.
that they were
So they
tricking me.
played
They played-
Morgan Township.
Played Morgan Township.
Yeah.
Or they played me. Oh,
Well, you are Morgan Town. You're representing us, so,
representing.
yep. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Yep. Oh, hold off till public comment, okay? We're gonna move this on. Okay. All right, Tina,
Alrighty.
fiscal office.
I only have a couple things. We're working on going through and updating the information for our annual insurance renewal with Highland through the Ohio plan. And also, we wanted to remind you that Columbus Day is a Morgan Township observed holiday that will be on Monday the 13th. Do you want to reschedule?
Yeah, I did that on every holiday. I've hit every one, haven't I?
No.
Let's see, you wanna just do Tuesday?
Whatever you guys want.
Tuesday, the 14th. Everybody,
Okay,
wait a minute, nope, I can't do the 14th. I
Oh,
got-
okay. all right.
Wait a minute, yeah, that is a 9 o'clock meeting. I can't do the 14th. What about Wednesday? Anybody got a conflict with Wednesday, the 15th?
No, so you're good here.
Okay, we'll move the October 13th meeting at 10 a.m. to October 15th.
Okay. That's all I have, thank you.
Okay. All righty. Anything else for Tina?
No.
Daryl?
No.
Jeff?
Nothing here.
I have nothing else. Audience, Chris?
Chris Gaines, member of the BZA, 6875 Hamilton Scipio Road. Just want to go back to your timeline, Tom. And I don't know, I watched the meeting, the zoning meeting, so I don't know all the facts and things like that, but on your timeline, they were approved for 7 lots
Yes, sir.
at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Were they ever approved for 3 lots?
Well, no, but if you were approved for 7, I would imagine you would be approved for 3.
Well, but if you change something on your, so if I go to, for building a house, and I change something on the house, you have to go back before that committee to get it changed. So you can't go in and put 3 lots on something that's been approved for.
Right, it's been
7.
plotted
So
for, it's been plotted for 7, so we'd have to be re-plotted, and it was. They did go back to Abercrombie, and they did come back with a plot with 3.
But was it approved by the commission, like the Butler County or anything? So I'm just trying to, there
He
might-
sits on it.
Right, so there might be a workaround that what Dale approved might be null and void because the steps weren't followed. But also, I know in the meeting, Dale, you said that, the, property owner threatened to sue and was ready to sue. We've had a couple cases in the BZA where there's been threatening to sue, because they didn't want somebody else to use their property how they wanted them to use it. So what now stops a BZA person coming for something and threatening you to sue
He
because
did
they
not,
can't use their
he
property
did
how
not
they use it?
threaten me in any form or fashion about suing. It is a possibility that was out there
Right, so,
that I considered important to protect the township. Apparently, it looks like I haven't protected the township.
well, and that's what I'm saying, like, there's been, in this BZA case, there was letters from lawyers saying that we were gonna move forward if this BZA was approved, or if that variance was approved. So, and I think that variance took a while, so there's that longevity of how those came.
Are you speaking about the last variance?
I am.
Okay.
So I'm just putting it out there because the window is open,
Well,
because there's been a precedence of somebody is talking about, or there's a possibility of suing or lawsuit or what have you, and things are going. So I think backing up and putting it on a more 5 or 6 B1, instead of one person coming to the zoning administrator and threatening to sue, so you're in this predicament.
Again, I say he did not come to me and threaten, okay?
There was the talks of lawsuit.
No, there wasn't.
Well, Chris, we're never going to shy away because somebody threatens us with a lawsuit.
know.
That's fine.
No.
I mean, so
You know.
I don't,
No,
let's take that out of the equation. I don't think it was based on, maybe he said it, but I don't, the township would never conform to what somebody requested based on a possible
Right.
lawsuit.
No.
I'm just
Let
going
them
off
sue.
what he said
I
from
mean,
the video. And
yeah,
what
I
I'm
know.
saying is putting the zoning commission in cahoots with the administrator to now it's 6 people looking at this instead of one person making
And-
a decision. I think that'll help.
And
that's
that,
kinda
we're going to
look back.
reconvene to a
Right. I'm just.
executive session now and discuss how we move on.
I was just voicing, like, I think it would be a
Okay.
good idea to put that whole board with everybody to look at those things.
Thank you. All right. Anything else from anybody in the audience? Okay. I'll make a motion at 11:05 to go into executive session.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right, we'll go into executive session.
You gotta read, you have to have one.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Pick something.
Like a police dog. Like a police dog.
We'll go into executive session. To consider the investigation of complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual. Just, do I need to get another motion, or are we good? All right. We are.
Bring him to me and I'll put him out on our table. If you give him to me, I'll set him up on our outer table. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, thank you.
You got that sign for that?
Yeah, yeah. Here, it's signed. No, not really.
What do you think of anything?
4661.
Is there any way that he can stop in to the two assistant ones and show them how to do that ACH crap? We're not sure what one of the three things to
Yeah,
pick
man,
to do.
could be basement,
To make a payment
could be
for
a
someone
bank.
else.
Do that, so I'll
Okay.
ask him to do
I
that.
mean, even if he has 5 minutes, I would really appreciate it.
And I would know your fees anyways, don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone I can, yes.
Yes.
He gave them a reverse lawsuit. He did a consolidation with Lumpy. Lumpy, it's not on here. Lumpy's
Is all this stuff signed? Can I, like, rip it out of there real quick before you guys get going?
he combined their lots.
Somebody's gonna get it. Somebody's gonna get it, aren't they? You're ready for it too, aren't you? Tom, ready for it?
I told you, dude, when they come in on Saturday, and they go through this shit, they're ready for it.
Yeah, that would be great. Thanks so much. You're welcome. Thank you.
Chris, I'm glad they approved that since we already got 2 computers.
But I don't understand. The letter didn't say
They had it in the wrong place.
Oh, so you had to move it.
Where did they cut it off?
Where's that money come from?
General fund. That's $100.
Isn't the park donated, or most of it? Or is
I
it-
think you're gonna find out when the final figure is, we have enough to put it on.
It's supposed to be,
But too many people put the signatures and sign out.
I'm feeling things.
to sign that, and Jeff needs to sign it. And that, and that.
Jeff needs signed.
Yeah, he needs to sign it. All right. I'll make a motion to reconvene, come out of executive session at 12:57.
Second?
Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right. As everyone knows, there's concern on the recent lot split on Howard's Creek Road. We feel that transparency was not demonstrated in this process. We need to correct that. There will be administrative actions coming out of this. We currently have the county investigating these lot splits, both from the engineer's office as well as the prosecutor's office. More will come on that. We'll see what our options are, but we are pursuing other options on how to make this right. Out of that, I'd like to make a motion that effective immediately, all lot splits will go before the entire zoning board and not be relying on one person to make that decision.
Second?
Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right. I have nothing else to add at this point. Like I said, this is an ongoing matter, and we will keep updates during future meetings. So with that, if anybody has anything else to add, then I'll call for a
Make a
motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Brooker?
Yes, we are
Motion approved.
adjourned at 12:59 p.m. Thank you, everyone.